Hi everybody, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Noor Charchafchi. Sorry, my phone is pinging, and I'm an interior designer, an ex-lawyer and a mummy, my phone keeps pinging, of 3 children. What I really wanted to do with this kind of, the new style videos that are coming up is really show you what it's like in my world and just what it's like day to day. And it's all a little bit mad, frankly. So today is going to be one of those mad days, as every day really is. In the mornings, and I've said this before, but in the mornings, I start super early so I can get everything in. I wake up at 5, I read for an hour, I go to the gym, and then I come back and get my hair done, either look after my kids before that or after that as soon as they're awake, and get them ready for school. We have 3 different schools, 3 different drop-offs. So my mornings are very crazy. So to really get the most in, I have to wake up super early. But also it makes me just kind of feel calmer and ready for the day once I've done some exercise. I'm just going to get my, very quickly, because I did heat up the water. Oh gosh, my mic's falling off. Kettle has been heated up. Does anyone else drink extra hot cappuccino except for me?
No, I like it extra hot.
Do you? I like extra hot too, but they never come extra hot. What is it about not hot, extra hot cappuccinos? I have found it so difficult to find hairdressers. Hair is really important to me. Don't ask me why. Actually, do ask me why. It's because I have very straight hair. Not that you can tell, thanks to Miriam. And I love having my hair curled, but it never stays curly for very long. So it takes me a really long time to find a hairdresser that works, but also, who wants to come to my house at 6 a.m, frankly? Most people wouldn't. So Miriam is wonderful. She was recommended to me by a friend. So I'm really lucky to have her. Okay, so we do have a change of plan today, which is something actually very exciting that I've got to share. I love art, and I'm absolutely no expert, but I really do love artwork. I used to paint myself when I was at university and for my A-levels, and I loved art, and I love art history, although I don't know that much about it. And whenever I've tried to start reading about it, I really never know where to start. So I was speaking to a friend of mine recently who is incredibly educated and very familiar with the art world and the art history world. And she suggested this amazing concept to me, which is something called the Exhibition Circle, headed by a gentleman called Roger Bevan. And he basically takes groups of adults around different museums and exhibitions and teaches you art history through current art, historical artwork, and it's just such a beautiful concept. So I was desperate to be a part of it, and have got an email this morning saying that I have been invited, which is amazing. I love the idea of learning through, in a visual way, and actually being there and moving and doing something. I hate the idea of learning seated at a desk, so this is fantastic for me. We need to go and visit a site today. I don't know if I'm going to go myself or if one of the team members who's leading the project is going. And it's basically, we're sort of at install stage and in terms of construction. So the vanity units are coming in today, hopefully. Okay, so if anyone loves my super brightly coloured leggings and sports bra, just to let you guys know, and my notebook doesn't come with it, just to let you know, my favourite brand ever for gym wear is Free People, and I only just found out that they actually do clothes as well as gym wear. But anyway, my favourite brand is Free People. Not only because it's super flattering, but it is the most comfortable gym wear I think I've ever bought. And I literally almost threw out everything else that I had because this was so super comfy. And they come in all different colours. I love them because they've got really bright colours as well as just nice neutral muted colours depending on how I'm feeling. But I have pretty much this in every single colour. So it's wonderful and really great. So I put a link down to Free People below if anybody wants to buy this one or other gym outfits like this. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Miriam.
Pleasure. Let's just go over this.
Yeah, love it.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. If it falls out, Miriam, you're coming back in 1 hour. Can some people actually do this themselves? I don't know how people do this themselves. How they have the energy to sit and do one by one.
Yeah, some people do. Takes
But
a lot
I love
of
it.
time and effort.
Thanks, Maria. I fiddled around a lot with the shirt. The shirt is actually a medium size, so that it's not too fitting, and the skirt is a small, but I've had to actually take it in, not because I'm so skinny, it just seems to come quite, loose, but I love it. I really, really love it. I'm so happy with it. So that's my Christmas present from my kids. I have no idea if these are really the right boots for the look, but I can't really find anything else. And I need a long cream or greenish coat, and I don't actually have a greenish coat. So let me give you 2 options. Okay, right, you're going to need to help me here, James. What about we do something like this? The only problem is with something like this is it takes, it becomes the center of attraction. So I do like it, but it now takes away from the lovely outfit. So this is definitely a green. I could do something like this. It doesn't feel very wintry, I have to say. I do like it. Ta-da! I don't know. No, I like it. Don't you? I like it.
Double collar scenario.
Yeah, the double collar scenario. I like that one. I mean, to be fair, the outfit looks better without a coat. Does anyone else do this? Just throw around too many coats. Ooh, I've just realised I do have a green option. I actually have a green Zara option. If I can get it out of my... If I can get it out. That might look quite nice. This is Zara, guys, and it's this season Zara. It's quite smart. That might be the one, because I feel like the other jacket takes away from the outfit, but this might be it. But then again, it looks quite schoolish. It looks nice over the shoulders, but I'm not sure if it looks quite right when it's on. I've got a white Balmain jacket, which might work better. I'm not sure what sort of... This is a creamish. Oh, well, I don't know. It does work. Just again, takes away from the actual outfit. I mean, it definitely works, but it takes away from the look. So I'm getting quite static here. Anyone has any clues to relieve staticity, staticness? Oh, I've got another one here. Can you tell what my room looks like? Oh, this is falling down. Can you tell me what my room looks like after I get changed? This is why my husband doesn't want to share. Right, I think that looks best. Every one I wear, I think looks best. Until I just get tired of trying everything on. I think that works. It works. Because this is a bit more white, isn't it? Less cream. This is white, the other one is cream. I like this one. I think we're going to go with this one. This is the winner. And I don't know really if I can't really tell if I love the boots with it, but hey ho. Little bit of a different look. We're giving it some bling. Now all I need is some big earrings, because I do not like to go anywhere without big earrings. And of course a little bag. I think we're going to go with this bag. It's kind of working with all the... It's my floral Gucci bag. Yeah, I think it works. I love wearing white in winter. I just feel it gives a real blast of change and makes, you know, everyone feel happier and not so dull and gloomy. Right, taking my orange book with me and we're off. So I've been trying to learn about art forever, but I wanted to be, I'm not going to have so much time today, so I thought I'll walk and talk and work, talk and walk, talk and sit in the car with you, work and sit. So I wanted to ask you, in this very squashy situation of ours, after we do this gallery session, we've then got so the gallery session, and then we're going into the Chelsea building with Lola to look at the vanities and check on everything there. And then once that's done, so I think we'll do that around 2. So even if I just pop my head in with Lola just to make sure.
I think Lola goes at 1.
Oh.
Because she has Fabrili or somebody coming at 1.
So she can you just ask her to make sure she's still there at 2, so that I can literally just pop my head in. Do we have any news from the piano people, James? Not yet, okay. Positive thinking. We're here, this is the Pace Gallery at Hanover Square, and I'm going into my first exhibition circle. Can't wait for this, it's been a dream of mine.
I'm at the coffee shop right now to wait for Noor to finish her exhibition, and I will get some stuff done while waiting for her. Okay, I don't know what to say. Should I say Hermann? I don't know. No, this is weird. I'm probably really annoying to work with. I'm sorry. I started working for Noor by joining the Smith & Noor team. I do the operations and make sure your shipments are on time and order fabrics, look for new design patterns. At the moment I also try and create a new fabric range. Also Noor and me, we do a lot of the social media work, like planning the Instagram. Right now I'm joining a bit more into the Celine team as well, making sure invoices get paid and do cost sheets. This is so weird. This is all I do. Doesn't sound a lot.
Okay, so I've just left the Pace Gallery and been walking around to learn about Nara, who is a Japanese artist, and the exhibition was fabulous. I wasn't expecting it to be this fantastic. So my understanding is Nara is pretty much the closest thing to an art rock star there is in contemporary art, and he draws or paints a little girl with all of these different expressions, and it is very, very powerful. And I think what makes it so powerful is that through the eyes of children, you know, they have the most honest expressions, but also sometimes, you know, the most misunderstood expressions. And you know, we make assumptions about how we think they are feeling and what they're seeing, but actually, you know, who knows. To me, what was most interesting is, are our assumptions the correct assumptions, and should we be making assumptions at all? I've never really, you know, experienced Japanese artwork in this way, and so, you know, expressively and openly, and it was such a pleasure to see. If anybody you know, has any interest in art, to go and see this gallery whilst it's, you know, in this exhibition whilst it's here. I know there's one in LA, but this exhibition is really, really striking and just fantastic. So I'm really excited. I don't know that much about it. I'm going honestly back to the office to make sure that not only do I write some notes about what it is that I learned today at my visit, but also to see if I can understand a little bit more background about this particular artist and his work, because I was very moved by it. And I think, you know, that to me is what's most important about art, not just to learn how and what people are doing, but also just to be moved and to try and understand and evaluate why that is. Meanwhile, just to let you know, it rained on me. But I guess the theory is pain for pleasure. I got some learning in, but my hair got, I was going to say a rude word, but my hair got. Anyway, pain for pleasure principle. I got something out of this morning. So even though it rained on me, I'm going to be okay with it. Anna's basically operations for everything, I think. Everyone knows if they're not sure what the answer is, they'll ask Anna. Sometimes she gets a 3 a.m. text or email.
I'll wake up to messages.
Wakes up to a
Because
whole
Noor's
list.
working in the night.
Working in the night and at
Or
5
I'm
o'clock in the
deep
morning.
asleep.
Yes, all hours. But Anna always has a plan before she wakes up. It's already being made in her sleep. Yeah, I don't know what you don't do, because I kind of feel like you do everything.
I don't design
At the moment.
yet.
We're working on it. I feel like I'm training someone to run away with my company. I would love to say that we're able to make our team meetings on a weekly basis, always at the same time, every week. I like to have them 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes, just because of meetings and other things that are set, it's impossible. So I will walk in and just kind of come over everyone's shoulder and find out what they're doing and make sure everyone's on track. It really is wonderful to be able to sit down all together. But of course, what happens is one person is doing one project, another person is doing another project. So essentially, when we sit down together for sort of 2-3 hours, it's really nice kind of team moment where we all get to be together and everyone kind of overhears what's going on with other people's projects. But at the same time, in many ways, you can lose time, although I think lose is the wrong word, but you can kind of lose time because we're not all doing the same thing. So if I do need to pop over everyone's shoulder just to kind of check in and see what people are doing individually, then sometimes that works and is more time efficient. And it just happens that this week and most weeks we are under an immense time pressure. We've got lots of big projects on and they really need everybody's full attention. So it does mean I have to jump in and just kind of swing past people. So the project we're actually working on is a living room in Knightsbridge, in a Knightsbridge apartment. The family doesn't actually live in London, so this is a sort of pied-à-terre, but it's a pied-à-terre for all of the kids in the family. So, different kids are walking in with their kids at different times of the year, so they're not here at the moment, and we're having to decide on the fabrics in one of the main rooms, so the living room. But we're going to make the decisions without the family here, and then we're going to send a box and kind of DHL it to Saudi Arabia, which is where they are. I always like to see the team choose their own fabrics. These are their schemes. They kind of get on with it and choose always a really beautiful range of fabrics. But then I'm called in to just kind of oversee and maybe just check and just look. Check isn't the right word. They wouldn't like me using the word check. Or what's the right word? It's not to check. It's just to kind of cast my eye over the scheme. And, I think sometimes that's important, even with schemes that I've picked, to allow other people in the team to look at my schemes and what I do to make sure, did I get it right or was I kind of colorblind at that moment? It's always important, I think, to get your work seen by 2 or 3 people and pass down the team so that everyone is sure that they absolutely love it before it leaves the office. So I'm there just to kind of cast my eye over. And as I am, I have realized that one of the fabrics, so the main fabrics in the room, which is a sofa fabric, because if you think about it, in your living room, there's lots of fabrics going on, but some of your main fabrics are going to be the fabric on your sofas and the fabric on the armchairs and the curtains. Those are your main kind of bulk fabrics. And if you've got a dining area in there, then also the dining chairs. But those are your main sort of base fabrics, let's call them. So for me, looking at those fabrics first and then working with them to make sure everything fits in and works and sort of, the cushions on the sofa pull in other colors around the room, but you've got your main base fabrics. One of those main base fabrics on the sofa turned out to be a thread count that for all intents and purposes, is fine for a sofa. So 30,000 rub counts and above is pretty good, I would say, for a sofa. But I know that, like I said before, this family is in and out. There are lots of different generations, lots of young kids, potentially jumping on these sofas. A performance fabric might be best, but performance fabrics are the more expensive range of fabrics. So the next alternative or option is to have a really high rub count on a sofa fabric. So what I'd done here is looked at the fabric that we'd chosen, or that Chloe had chosen for the sofa, and realized that actually we had 30,000, and probably my ideal is something a little bit higher than that, so kind of 50,000 plus for a young family. We've definitely got the cushion selection, but we're not quite sure on the sofa that we're picking right now. And I think sometimes the problem is you'll find the perfect colour and what seems like the perfect consistency, but then if you look at the back and at the label, it turns out that, despite feeling like it would be a really high rub count, so really durable, it's actually not as durable as we thought it would be. So the one I'm looking at the moment is only 30,000 rub count, which is fine for a sofa, but not necessarily what I'd want for a sofa in my home. I'd rather a sort of 50,000 plus. So I'm going to put that one aside. But we have found a 100,000 thread count over here. There's actually an Osborne and Little fabric, and it's fantastic, but I'm just not sure it's quite the right colour that we've got, because it's sort of got the two colours in there. We want one. You know what we could do, Harriet? Given that we've got space, I would make the sofa slightly bigger. I love those two together. I think they work beautifully together. She might just say, just do two of them. If we made it white, then it just looks more like it's part of the ceiling and the cornice instead of part of the actual joinery unit. The issue with performance fabrics is they are more expensive, and quite a lot more expensive. So, it's just something you have to bear in mind. If your client's happy to pay a much bigger much bigger price, I should say, for the fabric, then that's fine. For those of you who don't know, because I know James is looking at me thinking no one understands what rub count is. Rub counts just mean, literally it's a test that manufacturers do, and they have a machine that rubs over a piece of fabric a certain number of times. In this case, it would have been 30,000 or 50,000, whatever it is. And just to see how long that fabric will last and how much life it has in it after those rubs over it. So it's either called the rub count or the Martindale test. There's not really any difference between them. I like the rub count because it's simpler. Anyway, so I'm looking for a higher rub count, and of course I've then found a higher rub count, but it's never going to be exactly the same color. So what happens is you change one fabric and you have to kind of juggle around with all the other fabrics and make sure that actually they still all fit in and sort of merge into that scheme really beautifully. So it took a little bit longer than I thought it would do, but we got there in the end.
Hi, I'm Lola. I'm the lead designer on this project, and I'm here today to oversee our joiner who is installing.
We have the drawings in the van. I'm going to get the drawings and I'll give it back to you.
I'm the lead designer on this project. I am on site this morning to oversee our joiner who's installing the vanities.
Dimensions, how much should be out? Here.
There's no straight, so I think we will try to get this 6 mil, say once the adhesive, say 10 mil with that stone, with the hoe bang. So
okay.
It should work, yeah.
Yeah, I will put it
Okay.
flush with this. Then
Yeah.
I'll
Perfect.
show you. You're gonna see.
I can't wait, frankly, to the end of the day to see joinery units being designed, and it's just too exciting. And when your team is, touch wood, as good as mine, you are way too excited. I mean, I can barely wait in the morning to see what they've done. And Lola is fabulous. She creates some really stunning pieces for me, and I'm always super, super excited to see. So yeah, sometimes I might harass her and push her to show me things before she actually wants me to see them. I'm not sure what she thinks about that. Lola? Okay, so we'll ask Lola what she thinks about me poking my head over the top.
I forgot what I wanted to say.
That I'm amazing.
You are amazing.
I'm
yes.
just joking.
Take two.
Lola, can you not make my voice sound really loud by being really quiet?
Okay.
Lola's very quiet.
Are you going to ask a question?
No, oh yes, sorry, okay. So, heater alert, oh my God.
Sorry.
Lola releases heat.
Or am I making you nervous?
Oh, maybe you want to. Lola makes me nervous. No.
Camera's making me nervous.
Is it? No, but
I hate
just
being on
imagine,
camera.
just don't talk to the camera, talk to James. That's
Hi,
what I'm doing.
James.
So Lola loves it when I poke my head over, even when she's not ready.
Yes.
Was that the answer? Yes.
Noor is always like, let me see, very early. But in some way, I do enjoy when she comes over because when you're sitting in front of a computer screen all day, you might not see what another eye can see. And sometimes Noor's opinion makes it better in some way.
I'll pay you later. Yeah, my opinion makes it better. I like that. I'm going to tell my husband that. My opinion makes it better.
Yep.
Quote unquote Lola. She's only joking. She doesn't think my opinion makes it better. Actually, we disagree on most things, and then we fall in love with something.
Yes.
When we fall in love with something, we are both in love.
Yes, and that happens more frequently than
That happens more frequently. But until we get there, we both disagree on everything.
pretty much, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes. And Noor always wants things bigger.
Everything has to be
Big.
She's a very, very good designer, to be fair.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, you do. But it's a successful trying.
Mhm.
No, you don't try, you succeed. I don't like the word trying. Do you like the word trying? It means, I feel like it means that you haven't actually done something. It means you're still trying to do something. You haven't actually done it, but she's
I
always
succeed
doing it.
better. I succeed.
I succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Noor always says that if you don't love it,
No one else will.
so whatever I do, I make sure when I'm finished with it, I love it, and then I can show it to Noor and be like, and hope that she loves it too.
I generally love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say if people don't love it, don't show it to me until you love it. Because if you don't love it, I'm unlikely to also love it. But if you love it, I'm going to love
Yeah.
it. And we do seem
That
to
works.
love the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so still looking very messy in here. We have the table that we pretty much made up. One of my lovely builders has made this table for us, and he has put a stain on it so that it now looks like this and not like that. And it's looking pretty good. I'm not allowed to touch it, but clearly I just have. So hopefully that won't make a stain. But it's looking, I think, pretty good, and we are nearly getting there. It does smell a little bit, doesn't it? Can you guys still smell it? Mm-hmm. Oh. That was a yes for anyone that didn't hear that. And I'm going to ruin my skirt, but it does look fabulous, doesn't it? Okay, so pretty much see me in what is currently the junk room, but this room was previously my daughter's bedroom, and we once had a fire scare, not actually here, but before we moved in, and I just became really nervous about the kids being on a different floor and, you know, God forbid getting stuck. So I moved the kids to my floor, just because I felt it was safer. And this room then sort of, you know, became a nothing room. So rather than leaving it as a room with no purpose, when I changed the cinema room into the office, the cinema room kind of was where the kids were playing, and, you know, so they felt a little bit upset that we turned it into an office. And so I thought, okay, well, let's find a way to use this space, and rather than just pile it with junk, let's find some good use for it. So I am turning it into a playroom for the kids. We've brought some of the older cinema chairs up here. I will probably get them reupholstered, or I might even just leave them, depending on what we do with the rest of the room, so they've got somewhere to sit and play PlayStation, or, you know, just chill. And we've plugged up we've wired up, a television on this wall, and this actually used to all be wardrobes. So we've taken some of the wardrobes away. We've left 2 wardrobes either side of the TV, because although they're now not wardrobes, they can be used just to store the kids' toys. So rather than throw them away, we wanted to reuse them. I have taken from the cinema room the wallpaper, because it was really new wallpaper and didn't need to be thrown away. So from that cinema room, I've taken the wallpaper, and that's actually what I'm going to line the wardrobes with, but also the wall behind the TV area, so that we just kind of reuse as much as we can and not throw things away where we don't really have to. So hopefully it will be a really beautiful mini version of the cinema room, but also be somewhere that they can just have as their own and store their toys in, and hopefully this will look beautiful. So watch this space. It is a work in progress. I bought so many new vases for Christmas, and of course then Christmas is over and I never know where to put them. Never enough space. Whilst that one's getting ready, I'm going to put my Dutch Dutch roses in here. So to all of you big flower lovers, I'm sorry that I'm cutting the long stems short. I know it's not the right thing to do, but, you know, sometimes it's nice to throw the rule book out, because this vase I'm hoping will just go underneath this one, or just by it. So actually I think that's better fit over here.
I love starting getting the flowers ready and cutting all the long stems and starting to build up this really beautiful look. But I tell you something, halfway through, I am just completely fed up. If I had nothing else except for a good hour to just do some florals, that would be fine. I'm ringing, one of the phones is ringing me. Then that would be fine. But the fact is, there's so much else going on that I can't actually switch off and just relax. So maybe I need to learn to relax and then do my flower arranging. It is something I love doing, but it's a bit frustrating after a while.
Celine! Hi! You're not going to say hello to your mummy? It's a bit sad for me. Hi, Mama. How are you? I know, that's why I'm calling you.
Mama.
Come on. Okay, so I'm literally just measuring them up and then...
Cut it.
Madame. So take one, measure and cut. Hold them in a place where there are no thorns. Okay? So you do them on your own, and I'm going to do some on my own, so that we work
Nice.
doubly as fast.
There you go.
But my scissors appear to have gone missing. Scissors on the floor. Okay, so TT, we need to get rid of some of, sorry my love, some of the leaves. Not the ones right at the top, just the kind of ones at the bottom. How are you doing? So cut at an angle instead of straight, okay? And gentle, mama, gentle.
I love flowers. All of mine seem to die really quickly.
No, these flowers, yours?
Yeah.
Yours have lasted for ages.
Well, not my, what are they called?
Hydrangea.
Yeah, my hydrangea is fine. But the ones that you bought died really quickly.
Which ones?
The blue ones, you know, they come like blue. So pretty. Ooh, I love this stuff.
No, too tough. One tough one.
It's so satisfying.
I really do like a white or a neutral palette in my living room, and I love color, guys. I love color, but in my home, I like neutral colors because they make me feel very relaxed and very serene. And actually, I don't feel relaxed or serene most of the day. So for me, my interiors inspire that feeling, and I think that's so important. For me, just because of where I am in my life, I like a neutral palette when it comes to flowers. And because I did go all out with Christmas and we went red, 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 I wanted to do neutral colors for January. So I'll change up the flowers, even on a weekly basis if I can. I mix it up, roses, tulips, hydrangea, whatever I can do, but that stays neutral. Having said that, I did kind of miss Christmas. So in the dining area over here, I have actually kept my red hydrangea, which are now dried, and they still look fabulous, dried and in red. I mean, frankly, they still look fresh to me. And I went to the flower market and I could not resist buying the red tulips that, I don't know if you can see, can you see it behind me on this screen? Anyway, I don't know, but the red tulips are just over here on the dining table, and I'll show you in a bit because they are fabulous. Tulips are my husband's favorite, so if I can find a way to add tulips to my weekly flower session, I will. They make him happy, and it makes me happy that he's happy. If you are still watching me and you haven't got fed up of me over the last couple of weeks and months, I think it's been, then please do keep watching. I'm super, super grateful for your support. And this has been a whirlwind for me because it is really not that comfortable, by the way, to talk on camera. I am still getting used to it, but I'm trying my best. And I am going to try on a weekly basis and every single time I come on here to be as open as I can and to give you as much authenticity as I can, but also to try and really offer you a real insight into not just my life, but the design world. But I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a sort of detour almost, because like I said, my life isn't just about design. So what I'm also going to try and do is give you an insight into different things that I'm really interested in, that I'm learning about, that I hope that I can share with you. So for example, I will be trying to share some of the knowledge that I've gained just by reading certain books that I can recommend to you, and also just to sort of give you the lessons that I've learned very recently and I'm still learning about productivity and lots of other subjects that I'm just interested in, and hopefully you will be interested too. Thank you for joining, and I hope you stay on this journey with me. It is so exciting and full of learning, and I am so pleased to be on this platform with you guys.